Hey folks, Dave here. I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And if you're new to the channel, I'll drop links to our projects and Lightburn tutorials down in the description. If you check those out and you have any issues or questions, just let me know and I'll get right back to you. So today we're going to do a short tutorial on creating our own monogram letters. We're going to start with a 100% free font from dafont.com, and we'll go get that, and then I'll drop a link down in the description as well. But we're going to cut those letters in half and then write a full name. And you may have seen this, and people make them available for sale, but I always try to make something before I go spend money on it. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's go to dafont.com. And when it comes up, just go to the Gothic section here, click Medieval, and then it'll do something eventually. Okay, there we go. I'm out in the shop, so the internet's a tad slow today for some reason. I don't know. I pay for fast internet, but I get slow internet. Okay, so here in the preview, we're going to type capital ABC. And then go over to size and click and make it large. Leave it sorted by popularity. Go over to more options and then go to 100% free. Click that and then click submit. I always do this because I want to make sure that what I'm using is public domain and there's no issues with me using it in a commercial capacity. I kind of like this Old English one, so just download that. I've already got it downloaded. And then go to your download folder and you will see Old English zip. So just right click and extract it with whatever program you may have. And then you'll get this folder here. Open the folder. You'll see a .ttf for true type fonts. Just right click, install, and then it will be made available to whatever programs you have that use fonts. And Lightburn doesn't actually come with any fonts. It just inherits whatever you already have on your computer. And I try to keep tally of the ones I download that are free, so I'll know which ones to use when I'm making a product that's for sale. Okay, so we're just going to go over and grab the text tool. And I've already got Old English selected, but just pull it down and select it. Going to do a capital A. That did not look right. Well, I'm going to go back and change it. Maybe I hit the wrong thing. Old English. Okay, that's what we want. Then I'm going to click the selector tool and the text tool again. Come over and do the letter B. And then do it again for the letter C. And we're going to do the same thing 3 times, but you know, practice makes perfect, or at least makes better in my case. So we're going to make these large enough we can see. We'll just start with the A here. And we want to take out part of the center and then build in some lines that we can write a name in between that letter. So if you were... I've got a project coming up where I'm going to do a plate, cut one of these into a wooden plate for a lady, several plates actually. So when I started thinking about should I go buy some of these, I started playing around with it and figured out this will be okay. I think she'll like this. So that'll be the next project. So come back and check, and we'll do one of these and burn it into a wooden plate. Okay, so just go over and grab your square And we're going to just draw out a square that toward the center, maybe. And something like that is probably fine. You can make it as large as you like, but then we're going to pull it out of the way. Now remember, you can scroll in and out with your mouse wheel, and you can push down and move the entire canvas around. So I'm going to try to keep what we're working on in view. Okay, so we're going to duplicate this. Control D. I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to make our little bar that will go up at the top and the bottom. Then Control D again to get another one. Now we're going to pull this inside here. This will all make sense in just a minute. So get close enough you can see your cursor change, and then you can snap it to the top. And to be able to do that, you want to go up to your Lightburn settings here and make sure that Snap to Objects and Snap to Grid are turned on. And then it will do that. Now we want to grab this other one and do the same thing. We're going to set it in there, and then we're just going to snap it to the top. Now, we're going to group these two smaller ones together. So with this one or either one of them selected, click Shift, click the other one, and go up top and group it together. And you could just as easily right click and group right here. Okay, so now this is grouped together. Let's pull it out of the way. We'll take this piece back up, and this is just to cut out here. So what we're going to do is duplicate this whole thing here 2 more times so we have it to use on the B and the C. Duplicate and duplicate. It'll all make a lot of sense in a minute, maybe, hopefully. Let me move all these over to the center. I moved my picture up here to the top, hoping I wouldn't get anything behind it. Okay, so this is grouped. We're going to pull it out of the way. Then we're going to pull this piece up here. With it selected, with your piece selected, click Shift, select your A, and then click the center. Now with that, we're going to subtract this out. And when you're subtracting, you select the piece that you're subtracting from first, then Shift and select what you want to subtract, and then you'll see the subtract button here on the left. Click that, and that's what you get. Now, this piece here, we're going to center it on the A, but you've got to grab everything here with the A and group it, because when you're welding, you can only you can work with 2 objects at a time. So this is one since it's grouped, and this is one since it's grouped. And real quick, I show this in almost every video, but it's really helpful. If you pull from the right, you get a green line, and all you have to do is touch, and it'll select your objects. If you pull from the left, you get a red line, and it won't do that. You have to completely surround the object. And they both have good uses. If you wanted to, like this one here, if you needed to take one little piece out, and you grabbed it. It'd have to be ungrouped first, but, bad example. But you can reach in the middle of something with the red line and pull it out. So we're going to bring this up. And since we've done a center bullseye alignment, now we can do the same thing again. And it'll put it exactly where we wanted it. Then we can select it. And when you're welding, it doesn't matter which one you select first. And then we'll select the letter. We're going to go over here to weld on the left and click weld. And now it is all together as one piece. And when we put our name inside, we will, you have the opportunity, if this gap is not wide enough, you can select everything, ungroup, and now these are separate, but these other pieces may not be grouped to the line. There may be something that's not grouped. So here, I'm pointing at the screen. So go back and group the pieces individually, like so. Then you can select one of them and use your up or down arrows and just move it up or down to make that space without getting it out of alignment. And once you do that, just group everything back together. So, okay, that's the A. Now let's do the B the same way. And then we'll come back and put a name in each of these. So let's grab our box that we're going to cut out. Set it on the B. You can set it anywhere because we're going to center it. Shift, select the B. Hit the bullseye. Then select, click off to the side so it'll deselect. Then select your B. I don't know why I'm whistling. And then select your box, your rectangle, and then go over and click delete or subtract. And you see these little pieces that are in here. That's okay. If you wanted to get rid of them, you could. But we're just going to put this up here after we group this together. We got to group it back together so it will be, it says it's grouped, so okay. It's grouped. So we'll put this up here. And with it selected, then we'll select the B. Then we'll click center. And we are good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and group these together. Actually, I'm going to ungroup them and do this grouping. So if we need to move, we'll be able to. And we will know in a minute. And these look pretty good for free. And they're not that hard to make. So we'll do the same thing. I guess I should get this on out of the way. And it doesn't matter where you set it because you're going to center it. Remember, we click the piece we want to move during the alignment. So we select the rectangle, shift, select the letter, hit bullseye, and we're good. Now we want to subtract. So we select what we're subtracting from, and then select what we're subtracting and hit the subtract button. Pull this up. With it selected, shift, select the letter, hit the bullseye, and there we go. And I need to weld these. I didn't weld it. I forgot. I'm getting older. I forget stuff sometimes. So what we're going to do is make sure it is completely separate, and it is okay. Now let's see if we can weld. Hopefully I didn't mess this up too bad. So what I've got to do, since I ungrouped so much, is group everything except that top piece. It's good you can watch me mess up and save yourself some time. I'm trying to touch those little tiny pieces right there. Those little bitty pieces that I probably could have got rid of, but didn't. I think we got them. So group. Be patient, folks. We'll get there. Now that this is grouped, Control Z. Now that this is grouped and the top one is grouped, I can select those individually and group. Then I can shift and select these pieces that I've ungrouped and group those two pieces. Then select the upper part, then select the center part, and then weld. I know that was painful, but sometimes it is. All right, so now it is grouped together, and we're good. Now this one, we need to do the same thing. So we're going to ungroup everything. We're going to group these two pieces back together. Click, shift, click. Now that's grouped together. Now let's see if this is. Nope. So that has to be grouped. This happened right after I said this was pretty easy, but it was my own mistake. Okay, so now we can select this one. Shift, select this one. Group it together. Now we have one. Now we can select this is grouped and shift, select the other piece and weld together. So now we're good. Now we should have one piece. Okay, I feel better. Good thing I didn't do the whole alphabet. But if you want to do the whole alphabet, you can. And then you can take these and save them to your art library. And if you don't have an art library, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can go make one. So let's say we want to save this A. You select, and then you can go over to the bottom right, click Import from Project, and I can just call it whatever, a monogram. And click, and then it is in here somewhere. It's right here. So if I wanted to just grab it later and pull it back out, there it is. So it's a good way to save your art, especially if you want to keep separate what you've paid for versus what may be free. And also if you're doing jobs for someone, you can keep a jobs library. So if you have to pull it back up quickly, do it again, you'll be able to do that. Okay, so now we're going to put some names in here real quick. And I believe for the A, we'll just do Anders. And the text will come up large at first when you click another one, just because of the letters we've been working with. So just go up top and make it smaller. And I'm going to type out Anders. I thought I was anyway. everything don't always work exactly the way you expect it to. So just keep working at it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and separate this a little bit. So we're going to ungroup again. And then I'm going to move it down, select, and then move it down. And then we can start working this this name in. And just work with it until it's where you like it. You can make it fit. So I'm going to make this capital A fit. And then I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. And set it right there. Like that. And I'm just going to grab everything and group it back together. And then let's do it again right here. If everything is not grouped when you start to move, you can group it back, or you can just select it, hit your down arrow, and go from there. Just remember that it's not grouped. Okay, let's try Bailey. Remember to click your selector tool. Let's just make these different colors so they'll show up better. We'll make this one blue. We're grouping that together. So now we have Bailey. We will make it red. Okay, let's do this one. Pull it down a little bit. I've been having some trouble with my microphone, so I hope it is not messing up. And we'll just do, I don't know, Cameron maybe. Ooh, that one fits pretty good. We'll do that, and you can center them with the bullseye, or you can just work with them and get them to where you're satisfied with it. Let me go ahead and make that green. We'll group this together and then make everything green. Okay. I think that's it, folks. And then you can, it doesn't matter what size you make them, you can resize them as your project calls for it. I hope the video was helpful. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions as you work through this, just let me know, and I'll be glad to help out. If you have any general laser questions or Lightburn questions, I'll be glad to help out with those as well. So I really appreciate you folks taking time to watch. Just check back often for new videos. Take care, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.